Welcome to part 2 of my series of short videos on very basic NFL data analysis. Please make sure that you watched part 1 because we're going to build on that. In this particular video, short video, what I want to do is that I want to calculate the win-loss score for each team for the entire year. Okay, so we have a data set of the NFL game results for 2018-2019, but we have it at a per game level. We're going to see if we can summarize and see how many games each team has won or lost. There are a total of 32 teams in all, and we saw that they all played 16 games for the entire season. Okay. So let's first read our data, read or import all the modules so that we can use the functions. Mainly we are interested in pandas. And here's the logic we're going to use. Let's say that we pick only one team, okay? And then we can select all its home games. We can count how many games it played. That will be the number played. We can see how many it won. For that, we have a useful column called home wins we created. It is a true false column. So we can simply add it, and that will give us the sum, a total number of home games won. And then the total number played minus home games won is the home games that they lost. We can do this for all the teams. And then we can similarly do it for all the away games. Okay, go team by team, calculate, look at their away games, see whether they won or lost, and then we can create all these columns. That's the logic we're going to use. Now, everything that we did in videos, I think 1 and 2, I have put into one cell here. Okay, so there is a base URL. We have a URL. We are reading that URL. We are dropping the columns that we don't need. We are dropping it in place, so that the data frame that remains is narrower because some columns have gone away. I'm creating one new column called home advantage score, which is home score minus away score. Okay, this is the difference in the scores of both the teams. If it is positive, that means that the home team won, which is what this line is doing. And if it is negative, that means that the away team has scored more, so the away team has won. Okay, so I can run all of that. And if I run it here, you can see, first let's see how many, there are 256 columns and 256 rows and 10 columns. Let's just examine the first few. There they are. And you can see that in the first row, here is a home team, away team, and the home team has won and therefore the away team has lost. And in these two rows, the home team has lost and the away team has won, and we can see that it's true because the home score is 15 but the away team has scored 20, 40, 48. High scoring game, but the away team, Tampa Bay, I guess, they have won in this case. Okay, so now we're ready to go team by team and do our analysis. Next, let's see how many games a particular team has won or lost at home. Okay, the way to do that is, first we want to subset to just one team. Okay, you see this column here called home team. We can use that. So we can say df of home team column is equal to. There has to be two equal to's when you use a condition. And because some people that I care about live in Pittsburgh, let's use that. So we say is equal to Pittsburgh. This is just a condition. Okay, so it will say true for those rows where home team is Pittsburgh and false everywhere else. So I can call this as my home team rows is equal to that, and then I can actually use that. I can take my data frame and cut it to with just the home team games. If I do that, no, home team rows. So I have heat rows where Pittsburgh has played as the home team, and then we can see here whether it won or lost. Very good. So now that I have this created, I can take the home. I can actually take the length of this, and that should do it. So I can create a new variable called my home team games is equal to length of this data frame. How many rows are there? Okay, let me copy that a couple of times. Home team wins is, let me take this data frame Let me take the particular column of interest, which is the home win column, and then I'm just going to sum it. That will be the total that it has won. So I've added up all of this column. Third one is even easier. The home team losses, and what is this? Yes, is nothing but my home team games played minus my home team wins. Okay. Before I run this, let's make sure that we are verifying. Let's look at this column here. Okay, there are 8 that they have played. 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 5 that they have won, and 3 that they have lost. So let's run it, and then let's verify that my home team gains should be 8, my home team wins should be 5, and my home team losses should be 3. 8, 5, 3. Okay, 5 and 3. Very good. So that works. Now we can do this for all the teams. The next step is to do this for all the teams. Since we've already done this much work, it's actually easy. First, let's create a list of all the teams. Okay. So we know that our data frame has a column called home team, right? It has different values. If we take the unique values of these, that's exactly all the things we want. So let's just call this teams is equal to. Okay, so this is a list of all my teams, and then we can say for team in my list. First, just to show you that it works, let me just print the team. Right there you can see that there are 32 things, but instead of printing, we want to do exactly what we did here. So let me copy all of that, paste it here. Has to be all indented 4 spaces. Okay, now instead of just doing it for Pittsburgh, I want to do it for different team where equal to this team, so I do it for every single team. I'm going to calculate the length in sum of home wins and the losses. Okay, that worked, but we are overwriting it each time, right? So we need some placeholders to store all this. So let's create 3 empty lists. One list, let's call it home. Let's say that one is called home wins. Home wins is an empty list. And then let's do home losses. And then let's do home games. I should have probably started with it, doesn't matter, but home games. So the total number of games played, let's say home played. Okay, so I have 3 lists now, and after I calculate all of these things, I'm going to take my home played, I'm going to append to this empty list. I'm going to calculate this is the number of home team games right here. Let's do the same for home wins as well as home losses. Wins, home losses. But of course, when we want to add for wins, we should add wins here, and then we take this variable called home losses, home team losses, and we'll add it to home losses. So there are 3 lists. Each time I loop through this, I'm adding to this list. Let's print and see what this looks like. Home played, very good. And then home, maybe home wins. Okay, so everything's working fine. We need to create a data frame next to store this. But before we do that, I'm going to quickly do the same for away teams. Okay, I won't take you through it. I'm going to just type all of that and then let me come back and we'll continue. Okay, to save time, I copied everything in this cell, right? And instead of home, I just changed it to away. I literally did a find replace. So now I have 3 lists called away played, away wins, away losses. Let's run that. Okay, good. So now We have 2 more steps remaining actually. And again, to remind you, we have 6 new lists, each one 32 long, that we have created with 32 elements. One called home played, home wins, home losses, those are 3, and then away played, away wins, away losses, those are 3 more. We have 6 lists. Step 1, let's put all that together into one data frame. Okay? So there's a command called pd data frame, which takes in a dictionary. First, the key of the dictionary is going to be a column name. Let's call it, say, HP, and then we say it's home played. And then I'm just going to copy that over a couple of times. So, home played, let home WHW be home wins, and HL can be home losses. There. So you can have 32 rows, good, 32 rows and 3. So I'm just going to extend it to also the away. If I can copy the exact same dictionary, let me write it down here so it's nicely formatted, and then I can close it and close that. And instead of home, I want to say away losses, away wins, and away played. And I can't have the same column name, of course. Let's call them AP for away played, away wins, and away losses. Boom. Now we have 32 rows and 6 columns. Everything's looking nice. Oh, where is our team? We need our team also. Let's add our team name. So let's just say that my team, remember we had a list called teams, we can use that. Very nice. Now it's looking even better. So now let me copy that. Here, I've copied it, and I'm going to call this as my my data frame for record, right? Team record is going to be, that way it actually gets stored in a variable. Let's see, hopefully it looks good. Yeah, that's what we want. Now 2 more columns, just 2 more. Let's say that my total wins is nothing but my df record of home wins plus df record of away wins, right? That will give me my total wins, and my total losses is going to be my home loss plus away loss. And now finally, I think we have all 8 columns that we wanted. There you go, it looks good. 9 plus 7, last 2 columns should always add up to 16. Then we can see that, okay? So that is all I wanted to cover in this video. We have taken the entire set of 256 games one by one, and we did a little bit of data manipulation to make it into a smaller data frame with 1 row for each team, and the columns are showing how many times they have won or lost. Okay, thank you for watching.